And hello there, and welcome back to my channel, friends. Today we're taking a look at what I thought I would never buy. Here we are. The Ace Beaute Quintessential Palette. This released, I want to say, 2 years ago. I'll put the official date up next to me. The reason that this piqued my interest was their most recent launch of their Paradise collection, which reminded me of the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill vault. And when I saw the Quintessential palette from Ace Beaute, this actually looked like something I would really love. We'll talk about why I bought it. We'll do the swatches, swatches. We'll also do a demo. I'll also post a picture of the eye look I did yesterday. And now we'll get into all the dates. If you want to see how the Ace Beaute Quintessential palette performs, my thoughts on it, and if we will be getting anything from the Paradise collection, then please keep on watching. I wanted to get the Quintessential palette first just to see how Ace Beaute does. And for what I experienced yesterday is not too bad. I was like, okay. First of all, you got your mattes and your metallic shadows. This whole palette, 16 pan. I got this at Ricky's, and Ricky's sells it for $38.99. I'm not sure what it is on the website, but I'll put the both prices up here next to me. It is a cruelty-free product, but it is made in China. The total net weight is 24 grams or 0.84 ounces. This is like a larger version of a ColourPop eyeshadow palette. The ColourPop eyeshadow palette has 16 pans as well, but they're much smaller. It's a really big palette. It doesn't have a mirror. It has a really beautiful design on the inside as well as on the cover. There's nothing on the back. Everything is just here on the front. All the details you'll find on the box instead of the actual palette. So here again, the details, the ingredients, and where it was made, the website, and all that stuff. When I swatched the metallics, they remind me a lot of Juvia's Place in that they have like that thick feel to them, and sometimes you might have to work your brush into the pan, like Rose, for instance. Rose is a beautiful color, but you kind of have to get your brush in there and build up the shade on your lid. But we will get into all the swatches. I do want to mention the eye look I did yesterday. I mistakenly forgot to take a photo when I first did the eye look. Dumb. But I took a photo after, let me see, I did the eye look at 8 a.m. 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11. I almost had that shadow on for 11 hours. I was pleasantly surprised. The gold shadow on my inner third faded a little bit, but I'm very impressed with how rich the mattes still looked. The rose color on my lid, the metallic pink shade that I just swatched looked really nice and vibrant. Okay, I was like, this is doing good so far. So before we get into further, let's get into some instant swatchification. Yeah! I'll do row by row. Jasmine, clove, amber, and patchouli. Row number 1. I'm trying to make them like all fancy and slanty, but it's not coming out so well. Sorry. Bergamot, Starry Nights, cinnamon, and rose. Row number 2. Don't forget, I'm quitting the slanting things. I'm gonna just do it straight down. Nutmeg, rosewood, which is gorgeous, manuka, and berry. I applied rosewood yesterday and it did stain my lids, but expected because it was very pigmented, and as I was blending it, the color kept on building instead of blending away, so that was really nice to discover. Tangerine, mandarin, juniper, and neroli. Very impressed by the quality of the shadows. I know they're made in China and people have a huge problem with that. They do contain talc and dimethicone, and I think the dimethicone is what makes them give that thick-ish type of feel. But they swatch beautifully, and so far the mattes I've used, I've been impressed by. In terms of how well they blend and the saturation, you can blend and blend and blend and they'll stay on your lid and not blend away. I will definitely come back on here and do another look. I want to use the shades I did not apply yesterday. I applied rosewood. Actually, I applied Nutmeg, Rosewood, and Neroli. Neroli is a really nice matte black. Got on right away on the first application, and as I was blending it, it diffused really beautifully on my lids. It didn't look chalky or powdery. It didn't just blend away and look patchy. I was very surprised. I think now we'll do Patchouli. You know what? We'll talk about it. But first, you know what time it is. Okay, several things I like about this palette is its diversity in shade. You have your base matte shade and you have a nice set of neutrals here to set up your eye look. So with that, I'm going to go in with Patchouli first just to set up my lid. It's not going to show up any, but if I don't have a loose powder on hand, it's nice to know I can rely on the shadow to set my concealer with. I'm taking my Wayne Goss number 3 in with Patchouli. I'm just dusting it over my crease, and it gives, again, as I said, a nice base to the eye look. I think now I'm going to go in with, I really want to try Clove. Clove is calling my name. Same brush with my number 3. I'm going to take it first in my crease. That's blending very well so far. I found that these mattes are very soft. They're easy to blend. They don't look patchy on the skin. They don't blend out powdery. Yeah, man, I'm happy I bought this palette. I know I'm only using it for the second time, but from what I have experienced, I like it. Building up the color, going back in, right to left. Okay, now that we have Clove down, I think I want to try Cinnamon because I tried to apply Cinnamon on top of Rosewood yesterday and Cinnamon didn't come up. Cinnamon. I think because Rosewood is a very strong color and Cinnamon is on the lighter brown side. On me, I mean, it's a beautiful brown, but it's not the deepest brown. That's why I need to apply it on a lighter shade. I also want to try Tangerine. Should we just do Tangerine first? This orangey shade right here. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. I think Cinnamon will show up still, but you know, we will only find out by trying. Same number 3, but now just lower onto the outer V. Oh, that's looking nice. I don't know much about Ace Beauty except for that it's an indie brand. I didn't do much research before I filmed this video. I apologize for that. I really wanted to just get on here and demo for you guys. If any of you were thinking about getting the Paradise collection, I'm just curious as to how well the Ace Beauty eyeshadows perform, if perhaps that speaks to what the Paradise collection, how would that perform. I actually had my eye on this palette for a while, but I just held off because, of course, you know how much eyeshadow I have. And I said, Alicia, you have all these shades. But it's more so trying eyeshadows from a different brand. That always piques my curiosity, and that's really why I bought this palette. Not because I don't think I have these shades, it's just like I want to see what Ace Beauty can give me. You know what I mean? Ideally, you know, I would get it in PR, but hopefully if they see this video, they could send me makeup. Never know. I'm taking Clove again and blending out the top edges of Tangerine. This is looking nice. I like this combo a lot. Now let's try and apply Cinnamon. I'm actually taking my little Luxie 237 as a small blending brush, but now with Cinnamon. The outer V. And I report no fallout. There is some kickback in the pan. It's not excessive. These eyeshadows are soft and expected that there will be some kickback, but it's doable. This is a very light blending brush and I feel I need a little more, and I think that's why I'm going to take my Zoeva 234 that just got stained pink permanently. I will pack Cinnamon onto the outer V. Maybe that's going to give us a little more depth. Again, as I mentioned, this is a beautiful warm brown. It's not the deepest brown, so I probably won't expect it to provide that much intensity, just a little bit. And then I'm going to go back with my Luxie with circular motions to blend it out. I think is one of those things when I try to layer on a deepening shade over mattes that have already been placed on my lid, it's hard for it to latch on. And I just have to build the color up. But maybe this is just a shade that I apply on its own on my crease and all over. And maybe that's my one thing with the palette, although it has a beautiful range of color, that we might have needed another like deep brown because it goes automatically to black, and the black is actually very pigmented, and my eye look yesterday got smoky really fast. And, you know, I stuck with it. I was like, okay, this is the look, that's what's happening today. Sometimes I just want an eyeshadow that's softer that could provide me the same smoke but not as intensely as a black would. It's okay, it's fine. I am going with Tangerine under my lash line with my Luxie brush, however, because we're gonna start building this up. Also taking Clove on the same Luxie but lower, just to blend out Tangerine. I'll take my shader, my Zoeva shader with Cinnamon just under the lash line. Not too bad. I love the combination. Again, I do wish this was a little deeper, but what I'm gonna do, just so you can see, taking my Zoeva with Neroli, okay, but to the base of my lash line, and then I'm slowly pulling it up into Cinnamon just to add a little more smoke. See what I mean? I mean, it adds it really fast, and it's nice to know if I wanted to just smoke up my lash line or add a touch more intensity, that I just have to be careful with my application, choose a brush that's going to give me that low-key smoke without it blowing up too high. So I feel like we're still in the safe zone in terms of keeping this a day-friendly look. But again, this is a really great black. Be careful that you go in with the small brush so it doesn't get too nuts and you still can have some control over the look. Alright friends, let's now choose our lid color. Now, I applied Rose yesterday, which I absolutely love, but this I feel calls for maybe a gold or a copper shade. Like Mandarin I think looked beautiful for the swatch, as well as Bergamot. Let's do Bergamot first. This one, I'm feeling that at the moment. I'll go in first dry, and that's now with my Wayne number 7. Okay, noted. That's pretty. That's pretty. Like a really beautiful bronze shade. Oh, I love it. That's fun. This shade is a touch softer than Rose. Rose, you really have to work your brush into the pan to pick up the product, I think, again, because of the dimethicone, and depending on like the pigments, and I feel they affect the performance of the dimethicone, and that's why some eyeshadows are easy to pick up with the brush more so than others. Now, just to see, let's definitely spritz. Go over what we just did. Oh, okay, that's pretty. I really want to try Mandarin, so that's what we're going to do. Same shader brush, now with Mandarin. Inner third. I'm going to spritz this because I want a little more of a metallic finish. Then just take it right there. I gotta be careful when I wet the brush and apply shadow to my lid, because if it's too much shadow, it starts to gather a little bit. So it's almost like I have to make a decision, like you want to go in with it wet or you want to go in with the dry, because if you do both you could run into problems. I think that looks really nice. I'm taking my Luxie, my small shader Luxie brush again, if I could find her, because I lost her already. Just here on the top, just to smooth that out from the shimmer application. And then I'm taking Cinnamon to further smooth out the transition between the matte and metallic shade. Alright. I'm loving how this is looking. I do want to apply something on my lower lash line, and I think I want to take my Wayne pencil brush, my number 5, in with Berry, because I want to just see how this shade looks and the lower lash line is giving me like reddish vibes from the tangerine shade. So maybe we could just play with that color story and enhance it a little bit more. Oh, I thought that's a good idea. Nice, I like how that turned out. I mean, this dropped a little low. It's okay. We're just gonna stick with it. I am reporting a little bit of fallout here. I think that was from the Mandarin shade that we applied. So I'm just gonna carefully dust that off. With my pinky, I am taking Jasmine for my inner corner. Oh, got bright really fast. Okay, and I'm also taking Jasmine just to the very top of my arch, right under the brow. Okay, let's apply some lashes and I'll be right back. Here is a finished look. And of course, when I said put on lashes, I just meant apply mascara. These are mine. I also applied some blush, some lipstick, and gloss. And this is the final look, number 2, from using the Ace Beaute Quintessential Palette. So far, friends, I'm very impressed by this palette, its performance, its blendability, especially this palette in particular. I really appreciate the arrangement of shades. You have a really nice versatile selection of eyeshadows. You can go from neutral to punchy to colorful, especially with Juniper and Rose. I think they're really beautiful metallic shades. But then you have your base shade, you have your champagne shade that you could apply to your inner corner or brow bone. If you want to go more silver, you have Starry Nights to do that with. And of course, I know this is still overwhelmingly warm in terms of the shades, but I think, you know, Mandarin is, even though it's warm, is a really beautiful metallic orange shade, as well as Manuka. I think this is a beautiful color as well. And I'm actually very impressed with the mattes. I think they blended out really well. I love the consistency of them and how they blended on my lids and how easy they were to work with. I loved Rosewood. Rosewood was the one that I thought, I didn't know what to think. Typically these matte like warm purple shades could be hit or miss. And although the swatch, I know doesn't say much about how the shadow performs on the lids, but when I worked with it yesterday, I thought it performed beautifully. It showed up on my lid, pigmented, saturated. It stayed rich throughout the day after 8 hours. It was very easy to work with. It didn't look patchy. It wasn't powdery on the lid. It is a little drier in the pan, and more so than the other mattes in here. Like Nutmeg, of course, and Cinnamon are a lot softer in texture. Rosewood has a little bit of grit, and that's probably because of the shade. Other than that, though, I thought it performed beautifully on my eyes. This, yes, even piques my interest more about looking into the Paradise Collection. I'm still on the fence about getting Paradise Collection. I'm not too sure yet. I have to still look at the Instagram feed and any other reviews there might be on the collection. I mean, the shadows look gorgeous. The arrangement from purple to pink to the warm to what else is on here? The primary color palette I'm actually most interested in, because that's a nice arrangement of like bold colors. I think I will have a lot of fun with, and I don't have a palette like that. Listen, I've been wanting to get a Sugar Pill palette for the longest time. The reason why I'm always holding off is because every time I want to make the palette on the website, they don't have all the individual pan shades that I want in my palette. And I always have to say, notify me, notify me, notify me. And it just seems like the shades that I want are never available in stock at the same time I want to order this palette. And that's what's holding me off from ordering a lot of these bold shade color palettes, because I feel Sugar Pill is the leader in crazy bold matte colors, and I'm trying to save my money for that palette because I think that will carry me through a lot of makeup that I have that I could use it with. And that's why I'm like, do I really need the Slice of Paradise? I don't know. And Classical Paradise looks really nice with the olive shade and the yellow. Blossom Passion, you got your pinks and your oranges. And Paradise Fallen actually looks really nice. It has some rich purples in there. Again, I'm not too sure if that performs well, but from the looks of the Instagram videos that they've been posting, it doesn't look too bad. Sound off below concerning the Norvina palette, this new Paradise collection from Ace Beauty. If you have the Quintessential palette from Ace Beauty, what you think about it. I'll be sure to come on here and do another eye look for you guys. If you want to let me know specifically the shades you want to see in action, I'm sure you want to see Juniper, so that is not a problem. Let me know if you have Sugar Pill, if you love the shades, if you think it's worth waiting for and investing in terms of having those matte bold shades in your collection. Ultimately, that's what I would like to buy and just keep that as my go-to matte bold shade palette. But we'll see, because I'm nuts and I just want to buy everything. And that, my friends, is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my palette. And subscribe to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another review. Get ready with me, chit chats, swatchification, and all that good stuff. Thank you again, and I'll see you soon.